In the past decade, Taylor Swift has been at the forefront of the conversation about weekly reserved for women, and Taylor's reflection on this drew attention to the unique challenges female artists face. But despite the criticism, Taylor has learned that what separates those who endure from those who don't is perseverance. She shared, "The difference between those who can continue to create in that climate usually comes down to this: who lets that scrutiny break them, and who just keeps making art." Taylor emphasized that female artists in the past decade have not just survived, they've dominated in streaming, record breaking sales, and critical acclaim. "Why are we doing so well?" she asked. "Because we have to grow fast. We have to work this hard. We have to prove that we deserve this." Taylor highlighted the unreasonable standards women in music are held to, whether on stage or behind the scenes, saying, "Women in music are not allowed to coast. We are held at a higher, sometimes impossible standard." But as she pointed out, instead of succumbing to the pressure, many women in the industry have thrived. "It seems like the pressure that could have crushed us made us into diamonds instead," she declared, referencing the resilience of her fellow female artists. Yet she made it clear that the fight isn't over. While progress has been made, there is still work to do, especially when it comes to ensuring women have equal access and opportunities in the recording studio and behind the scenes. "We need to keep advocating for women in the recording studios, behind the mixing board, in A&R meetings," she urged, pointing out that too many women are still fighting just to be in the room. Taylor also addressed the evolving landscape of music, particularly the impact of technology, which has given artists more control over their work, but also brought about new challenges. She expressed concern over how rapid technological changes have left behind songwriters and producers, calling for a reevaluation of how these shifts affect creators' revenue. But perhaps the most personal moment in her speech came when she discussed a new shift in the industry that's deeply affected her. Taylor called attention to the growing influence of private equity, which has begun buying up artists' music catalogs as if they were mere assets. "This just happened to me without my approval, consultation, or consent," she revealed, referring to the sale of her music catalog to Scooter Braun's Ithaca Holdings, a deal funded by major investors like the Soros family, 23 Capital, and the Carlyle Group. She shared how Scooter Braun never reached out to her or her team to discuss the sale, even though it was her music, her art, and her legacy. "I'm fairly certain he knew exactly how I'd feel about it," she said, emphasizing the lack of respect for artists' ownership of their work. Taylor passionately critiqued the toxic male privilege in the industry, where people defend those who are nice to them personally, even if their actions harm the broader community. She called out how private equity enabled these men to feel entitled to own artists, regardless of their wishes. "The fact is that private equity is what enabled this man to think that he could buy me," she said, adding that she would never go along with it. Thanks to the overwhelming support of her fans, Taylor has been able to keep making music despite the challenges. In closing, Taylor urged the music industry to do better by younger artists, advocating for a future where creators are valued and respected for their work. "I really just feel like we need to continue to try to offer something to a younger generation," she said, leaving the audience with a powerful call to action for change in the industry.